Hi everyone, this is Giles Fox and this is my presentation for Module 6 for AEP 855. First we'll talk about who I look to learn more about leadership and how and why I look to those people. Then we'll talk about how I've been working to improve my leadership as well as my plans to improve it in the future. And finally, we'll talk more on my self-reflection, how I reflect on my own leadership, and as well as we'll talk about seizing the day, carpe diem, and my secret to success in life. So these are some of the pop culture, I guess, leaders that I kind of like to follow. Jordan Peterson, Nassim Taleb, and Jocko Willink. I noticed some other students in the class also had some of these leaders um, in their list as well, which is pretty interesting and cool too. I also looked at families, coaches, teachers, and organizational leaders. For families, I like to determine their priorities, values, and beliefs, and then see how they balance tough love and their care and support. It's tough razor's edge there to for coaches. I like to see how they balance their discipline and freedom as well as their attitude and behavior during success and failure. They also have to manage a lot of different people with different viewpoints, opinions, everything like that. That's a difficult thing to do. For teachers, this is my research advisor, Dr. Kayvon Aflatooni. One of the leaders I really looked up to while I was at Fort Hays State. Um, for teachers and professors, I look at how um, their time management, their organization, and how they balance. Do they instruct too much? Do they instruct too little? And how do they find that nice um, thin line right in between those two? And then finally, organizational leaders. Um, I see how transparent they are, which is kind of a reflection of their own humility or their integrity, I guess, their time management, and then how much they focus on the individual compared to the entire corporation as well, the balance between those two. So currently, I'm working on this class to improve my leadership. I've taken on multiple coaching roles. I'm coaching in every season, fall, winter, and spring. I've also joined and I'm on the Recreation Commission in Ashland, Kansas. And next year I will be taking on high school and college level math and physics. Those will be also through ITV, which will be a new thing for me. And I will be taking graduate level math courses online, which should help me in my teaching of college level math. So, in order to improve leadership, you need to learn continuously. Need to read, observe other leaders, connect with other great leaders, and then stay driven. These are some of the books that I've really like the ideas from. In order to improve leadership, you also need to just lead, and that a lot of times that just means stepping up and taking the initiative and serving other people. Self-reflection. So how do I self-reflect? Well, I observe those that I lead and how they respond to it. I mean, that's the most straightforward, but I think the better one would be to consider the perspective of better leaders, how they view your leadership, because they know what to do. Um, if I just observe those that I lead, I could have a definite bias to that, and that would not be included if I consider the opinion of better leaders. My definition of humility is actually the complete elimination of person-to-person comparison. So what that kind of means is that you just don't at all compare yourself to someone else. Don't compare two other people to each other. People just aren't to be compared to others. They're to be compared to what they were in the past. And I believe that's humility. Carpe diem, or seize the day. That's about, like I said before, taking the initiative. It's about being where your feet are, which is, I think, a cool saying. Um, it means being in the present moment. And finally, my secret to success is uh, 3 steps or 3 different things. One, never stop learning. There's always something interesting to learn. Um, and find what you're interested in and learn it. Secondly, self-discipline trumps motivation in all cases. Self-discipline is what is the difference between the good and the great. Um, Positive and a positive focused mindset. That kind of goes with this picture down here that says all that we are is the result of what we have thought. I think we have the ability to determine our perspective, and that's a huge benefit, huge advantage to us. We determine how we see the world, how each day pans out for us, and that's up to us. We get to determine that based on our own thoughts. And I think if you have a positive outlook, um, every day is going to be great. Thank you all.